Scarlet Macaws. They're a symphony of color, aren't they? Brilliant red feathers that look like they've been dipped in sunset, wings splashed with the deepest blues of the ocean, and those vibrant yellow accents like streaks of pure sunlight. Their presence alone can fill an entire room, demanding attention with their sheer beauty. But beneath that stunning exterior, behind those intelligent eyes, lies a mind that is both sharp and surprisingly gentle. This is a story about that hidden gentleness, a bond forged not in grand gestures, but in quiet moments of shared existence. Our story unfolds in a warm, sunlit home, the kind where light dances across wooden floors and dust motes drift lazily in the air. Here, for many years, lived a Scarlet Macaw named Rio. Rio's world was largely centered around his tall perch, strategically placed near a large window. It was his throne, his observation deck. From this vantage point, he watched the world go by. He saw the sunlight shift its patterns across the living room carpet as the day progressed. He watched the long, stretching shadows of the afternoon creep slowly across the walls. He observed the people walking on the sidewalk outside, each with their own pace, their own story he could only guess at. Rio was a creature of observation. He noticed far more than he ever chose to speak, his squawks and calls reserved for moments of true significance. He was a silent guardian, a colorful statue with a beating heart. Then one day, the familiar, peaceful rhythm of the house was forever changed. A new life entered the home. A baby, so small and fragile, arrived wrapped in soft blankets. His name was Leo. From the very first day, Rio, from his perch, noticed the subtle and not-so-subtle shifts in the household's energy. The footsteps that once strode confidently were now soft, almost tiptoeing. Voices that once boomed with laughter were now hushed into gentle whispers. And then there were the new sounds, the soft gurgles, the occasional, startling cry that pierced the quiet. He saw new movements, two small, uncoordinated hands reaching out, grasping at the air. In this new environment, another bird might have become agitated, territorial, or loud. Macaws are known for their powerful calls, their dramatic flapping. But not Rio. He didn't squawk in protest. He didn't flap his wings wildly to assert his presence. Instead, he simply leaned forward on his perch, his dark eyes focused and watched. He observed this new little human with an intensity that was profound. He was studying, learning, and adapting. Each day, Leo would spend time on a soft blanket spread out on the living room floor, not far from Rio's perch. He'd kick his little legs, wave his tiny fists, and explore the world from his horizontal view. And every day, Rio would watch. He'd tilt his head from one side to the other, his gaze following every single movement. He seemed to be memorizing the baby's every expression, every gesture. When Leo cooed, a soft, happy sound bubbling up from his tiny chest, Rio wouldn't try to mimic it loudly. Instead, he'd respond with soft, gentle clicking sounds from his beak, a quiet acknowledgement. It was a subtle, respectful reply. And when Leo would fuss or begin to cry, Rio remained a beacon of calm. He wouldn't add to the noise or chaos. He just stayed on his perch, a steady, colorful presence, offering silent support without interference. One golden afternoon, as the sun streamed through the window and illuminated the room, Leo, lying on his blanket, reached a tiny hand upward, his fingers stretching toward the bright shape of the macaw. Seeing this, Rio did something remarkable. He slowly, deliberately, stepped closer to the very edge of his perch. He then lowered his magnificent head, bringing himself just within reach of the baby. Leo's tiny, curious fingers made contact, gently touching the very edge of Rio's crimson feathers. It was a moment of pure, unscripted connection. Rio stayed perfectly still. There was no flinching, no panic, no sudden excitement. There was only a profound sense of trust, a quiet acceptance of the small, gentle touch. He held his position, allowing the moment to unfold naturally, a silent agreement passing between a bird and a baby. Over the following weeks and months, this silent bond grew stronger. Rio began to mimic some of Leo's soft sounds. Not loudly, not abruptly, but with a careful, measured softness that echoed the baby's own gentle rhythm. He'd make a quiet cooing noise that sounded remarkably like Leo's own. When he heard these soft echoes from above, Leo would often stop what he was doing, look up toward the colorful bird, and a wide, gummy smile would spread across his face. And in return, Rio would tilt his head, a gesture that seemed to say, "I see you. I hear you." This became their unique language. Their silent conversation built on mimicry, smiles, and shared moments of peace. It was a friendship that needed no words. Years went by. Leo grew from a baby into a toddler, and then into a young boy who could run, jump, and talk. He learned to gently offer Rio his favorite treats, and would talk to him for hours, sharing his secrets and stories. When people would visit and comment on Rio's brilliant feathers or his impressive size, Leo would just smile. Because when he looked at Rio, he didn't just see a beautiful bird. He saw a friend. He saw a calm, attentive, and steady presence who had shared his earliest, most formative moments. He remembered the quiet clicks, the tilted head, the gentle patience. He remembered a guardian who watched over him from his perch by the window. This story reminds us that some of the most powerful bonds in our lives don't require dramatic rescues, heroic acts, or a constant barrage of noise and activity. Sometimes the deepest connections are built in the quiet spaces in between. They are forged through patient observation, through unwavering presence, and through a gentleness that speaks louder than any words ever could. It is a testament to the idea that love and friendship can be found in the most unexpected of places, between the most unlikely of friends. Thank you so much for watching this story today. If it touched your heart, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more content that celebrates the incredible connections we share with the animal world. We'll see you in the next one.